Madam Speaker, as I stated in my reply to parliamentary questions B61 and B66 on 3rd April 2018, the Financing of Political Parties Bill is currently under preparation at the Attorney General's office. In regard to consultations and circulation of the bill prior to its introduction into the National Assembly, I indicated that I am personally in favor of having appropriate consultation on the draft bill, but I also stated that I would seek the guidance of Cabinet on the matter before proceeding. Madam Speaker, in regard to Part B of the question, I stated that the Ministerial Committee on Electoral Reform had also been addressing the other issues in its terms of reference. As a matter of fact, the committee has already submitted its report to me with proposals on, inter alia, the introduction of a dose of proportional representation in the National Assembly, enhancing women representation, and on the issue of mandatory declaration of community by prospective candidates at the general election. The proposals made by the Ministerial Committee are currently being examined at the level of my office before submission to Cabinet.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Since this is an issue of high importance, this matter needs to be highlighted, and there is a call for debate at the bar of public opinion. Can I ask the Honourable Prime Minister as to when, if he can give, at least, I'm not asking for an exact date, at least he should give us some indication as to when the proposed amendments to the electoral reform will be circulated and the draft legislation in respect of financing of political parties.
Well, Madam Speaker, once Cabinet would have agreed on a draft proposal, of course that will be circulated, it will be made public.
Yes,
Is the Prime Minister aware that the public is sick and tired of hearing the one and the same reply? I think the Prime Minister is duty-bound to inform the public as to when. We are not asking for an exact timeline, but at least he should give clear indication.
The Honourable Member has been in previous government before, and in the different programs in which he was part of the government, they have been saying that they would conduct an electoral reform. 2005 to 2014. Wasn't the people sick and tired of that person? And he was not even able to bring a draft bill before this very House. Now let's wait and see. Time will tell whether we are only saying things just to say in the House, or whether we will come before a bill before this House. Time will tell.
What time is telling. And it is up to you to come as Prime Minister with concrete proposal. Don't hide behind the veil of what happened in the past.
Madam Speaker, this is not a question, this is a statement.
Honourable Arvin.
Thank you. This was one of the main pledges of the L'Alliance Peuple. And we have to understand now from the reply of the Prime Minister that the Ministerial Committee has not yet made recommendations for financing of political parties, has not yet studied it at all. Is that 4 years down the line? Is that what we have to understand?
It is a good thing that the debates are being broadcasted live on TV, because I'm sure everybody must have listened to my answer, where I stated that the Ministerial Committee has already made recommendations to me, and it is being looked at the level of my office. And then it will be brought back to Cabinet, and after that, obviously, if there is a consensus, obviously we will come to this House.
Yes, Madam Speaker, there was some information in the press to the effect that when and if the reform comes, it will not be applicable for the next general election, that is normally due in December 2019. So therefore, can I ask the Honourable Prime Minister if he can confirm this information or not?
Madam Speaker, I don't go by the press. Unfortunately, I must say unfortunately, there are so many misinformation that are being published on and off. Not to say everything, but on a number of issues. First of all, we will have to discuss at the level of cabinet. And I can't disclose anything with regard to discussions that are ongoing between ministers. So let me finalize, let me come with a proposal, and then we'll see whether it is going to be applicable next election, after the other election, which election, we'll see.